Morning, afternoon, everybody. It is Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parashat EIkev, and we're a week and change away from Tisha B'Av on our way towards Rosh Hashanah, heading into Zman Tshuva. And this parsha is very interesting because we have a lot of interesting Musar, as we know, the next few weeks at least. Goes into Musar. Moshe is going away. As I tell my son, the Charusa, Moshe is going away. And, you gotta, before you go, we got to do some life lessons. Some people remember, some things that you learned along the way, some things have grown along the way, some things you still have to work on. And there's an interesting idea of Kol Machshavs Adam Haim Atzis Hashem. All thoughts are really come by Hashem. Person has to realize that whether good for bad decisions he makes, Hashem sometimes puts these ideas for you to grow, for you to gain, for you to kind of learn. It's part of din. It's part of the din. It's not just coincidence that we do weird things. Sometimes we make decisions and they sound great. Sometimes we make decisions a year later. We say, "Boy, why did I invest in that? Why did I buy that house? But that was so stupid. I should have bought somewhere else." This idea is that Hashem really puts this idea. It helps us not just ruchnius wise, but gashmius wise. This idea, and there's a Onkelos that talks about this. Hashem gives eitzes l'knos nechasim. That's not just ruchnius things, but even regular things, even life things. Something comes along someone's way. It's not just coincidence that person came along their way. Whether you have a good worker, someone who works for you that takes a lot of pressure off you and helps you sleep at night, and this way you can kind of learn Torah and have a normal life. And then you have workers. Most of you are not getting the reference except for Noah. Some of you workers that make you want to kill yourself. Um, and this is an interesting idea. It's not just by chance that we hire people, we surround ourselves with people that come to our sit by our table in shul. Some people are we marry certain people. It's really it's a cheshbon. It's a cheshbon Hashem. We Hashem puts things in our way so we can kind of learn about ourselves and learn how to grow from ourselves. And this is the idea that I believe that Hashem says you're not chosen because you're great, because you're strong, because you're many. You're actually kind of small, and you're going to Yisrael because of the avos, not because of you, and because they are bad. You're going to Yisrael because the Eretz Canaan, the people are horrible. You're not so great. This is a little bit. Not only that, but Hashem gave us many, many things in the midbar for people for them to work on. You think about it, it kind of makes sense. If they were so great, they could have gone to Eretz Yisrael right away. Right after get the Torah, boom, they go right to Eretz Yisrael. But no, it wasn't the case. The Egel highlighted that they have a lot to work on. Amuna being the central piece, and then really the central piece of everything. Moshe goes away. Moshe not coming back. It's not by chance Moshe's late. Hashem put these tests. It's not by chance they didn't have water. It's not by chance that the mun looks weird. It's not by chance that the other nations, Amalek is around there. These are things that Jewish people are supposed to. These are tests. Naschal and Nashoscha. Hashem gives tests, and not to make our lives difficult, but to know what your shortcomings are. Without being tested, we don't really know what our shortcomings are. We're not going to work on it. And this idea, is something that we got to think about. Um, I used to a little personal now. I used to think, yeah, nothing gets me upset. I don't get angry too much anymore. I'm kind of like sing, I kind of turn the corner. I don't get mad too often unless something happens at work. Systems don't go up, and I'm getting nailed for it. And as a consultant, a lot of high pressure in some of these situations, and we do the wrong thing sometimes. You can get the axe. So one of my people messes up. You know, you get upset, you get angry, and you lose projects. And this is something I work on. And when I yell at someone, and I'm like, "Phew," a day later, I go, "I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm really not trying to get angry. I'm really trying not to get upset at people. I don't like no one's getting yelled at, especially by your boss. Um, but getting angry doesn't help anything, and it doesn't make people work better. makes him fear a little bit more, but doesn't really improve anything. And the thought process that, you know something, Hashem put, let's just give it a name. Let's just say Lakshmi. Let's just random name. Put her in my life, so I should know that I have a problem with getting angry in pressure situations, and I got to work on it. You know, things happen. I got to now think about this thing, and these ideas that Hashem puts these certain situations in our life to grow from it. The idea is not to say, you know what, I'm not going to anger anymore, but to use some of your fierceness, determination towards a good way. We said there's 14 good things, good times in Koheles, and there's 14 bad things. You know, Ace L'Snow, Ace Lahov, Ace L'Code, Ace Milchama, 14 and 14. And the idea is to use all 28 and raise it to Hashem. 14, yes, that's great. But the bad things, we want to overcome them and use it for the good things. And this idea is something we want to kind of think about and accept it and embrace it. And Rabbi Biederman's book brings an interesting story. This fellow went to the Area Kadosh and said, I have the worst marriage. This woman is making me nuts. She's killing me. And Area Kadosh thinks about it and he says, in a previous life, in a Gilgal, you hassled her. You hassled her in a previous life. And now, um, in Shemayim, to accept that your neshama should have a go up to Gan Eden, now the roles reversed. She's going to hassle you the rest of your life. And you have to accept this with Ava. It's from Hashem. If she's going to make your life miserable, but you have to accept this. The Simcha and the man, okay. And he goes home, and the wife sees this guy's acting. You know, he's not getting upset anymore. So she says, "What's going on here?" And he says, tells the story, and she gets very upset. She goes, "You know something? I am not going to help you with your Gehenna. There's no way. I'm going to treat you nice from now on. I am not going to do this. Chas v'shalom, you should have a good Gehenna. I'm going to treat you nice now, so you're not going to get a kapara." And the man is all shocked. He goes back to the Riyah Kadosh, and the Rizal says, "It's okay. As long as you accepted it besimcha, at that moment when I told you what the story was, and you accepted it besimcha, that's enough to change your gezeros. Even if your wife treats you nicely or horribly, it's not going to matter anymore because you accepted the din besimcha." And this is the idea. A lot of times we need these reminders sometimes. We shouldn't get angry, shouldn't get mad at people because Hashem put these people in your life. Hashem put these things in your life. You're making a lot of money one day, you're losing money, stressful. Your kid does this, kid doesn't do this, your parents. It's all really to kind of get these lessons, throwing these curveballs at you. Some guy in shul talks next to you. Are you going to get mad at him? Are you just going to daven? Guy is davening loud. What's your thought process? How are you going to react? Hashem puts these people in our way to gain and learn from these things. This is the idea um, we're trying to get out of this. And Ma Hashem Alkecha, it's small. It's what does Hashem want? Shoel Mimcha. It's just to fear Hashem. You're Hashem. You're Hashem. That's really the most important thing. We have to understand that our own thought process, as best as we can understand why things are surrounding us in the world. The main thing is Shoel Mimcha. Hashem is our Shoel, as the Baruch of Mezbuz says, like a Shoel, like a Shomer. A Shoel is you rely 100%. You give the guy his stuff, he's borrowing it, he's getting all the hana from it, and if something happens, he's responsible. And that's the idea we want to do. Is we don't want to go halfway with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, three-quarters of the way. As best as we can, we rely totally on Hashem. If we rely totally on Hashem, Hashem will take care of us. All good things will happen. We have to kind of put a full trust in Hashem. Whatever comes down the pike, good, bad, or ugly, it's really just to test us. And throwing things, as closing things up, there's another story. The Ritz Dushnika, Tushinsky, this is Rabbi Shalom, mentioned this Hashgacha Pratis. Lo lechem yichyadam, ki hamotza pi Hashem yichdam. It's not the bread itself that's keeping you alive. It's Hashem wants you to have this. Unfortunately, people in the midbar didn't like the mun. They wanted things from Mitzrayim. That's not the point. The point is Hashem gives you something that's going to sustain you. That's important for you. The right amount. I wanted more. I'm getting less. I wanted this. That yes, what Hashem gave you, that's what you're supposed to get. And this idea that things come in your life, this story of this Rav Doshinsky mentions in the story of Rav Shalom Eliezer Frankel, end of his life, he uh, he brings a story of Rav Yankala Perzhansk, who went to Denmark, end of his life. Okay, story. His in his life, he's very sick, very weak, and it was a fast day. It's Tisha B'av, I guess. I think it was Tisha B'av. And Tisha B'av in the afternoon, and it's a phone call. Again, it's the mid 50s. I get, and someone from the shul calls this rabbi, and the shamus picks up, and the shamus says, "What can I do for you?" And this fellow says, "I have a question for the rabbi." And the shamus says, "I got something." The rabbi is very old. He's not well. It's Tisha B'av. He's taking a nap. I'm sorry. And this fellow says, please, it's life and death. It's life and death. My doctor said to go. Oh, so the shamus wakes up the old rabbi. The rabbi gets on the phone, and the fellow has a question. He says, I went to the doctor. He says, if I don't feel well on Tisha B'av, I shouldn't fast. And I don't feel so well today. What should I do? And the rabbi said, okay, if you're not feeling well, you shouldn't fast. And he hangs up. And the rabbi says to the shamus what the story was. And the shamus gets really upset. And he says to the rabbi, it's terrible that this person called and bothered you for something that wasn't so important. It wasn't life and death. It was just a regular, he had a headache, just wasn't feeling well. He had to wake you up. And Rav Yitzchak, Rav Yankala, Bifrazhansk says, no, it was to test me. It had nothing to do with this guy. It was to test me. It's a Yankala test. It's to see if I would get angry. If someone's going to wake me up on Tisha B'Av in the middle of a fast that I'm not feeling so well for a question that's not so crazy important, what's my reaction? And that's the reaction. So the shamus had the bad reaction. You got angry. I didn't get angry. It's a test for me. And that's what the story is all about. Hashem wants to test the midos or of Yankala. And this is why sometimes in the day we get these weird situations, we get these things that we get upset about. And the key is to say, take a step back. There's a reason why Hashem put these things in my life. There's a reason why my bicycle wasn't running great, so I pulled off to the side and I cut my arm on some thorns. Unfortunately, I didn't take it as good as I should have. But this is these little things that happen. That's to test us. So as long as sometimes we feel we turn the corner on things, we get these curveballs sometimes, and how we react to it. That's the key is to really kind of grow from these small situations and understand these are small things. The real idea is remember it's from Hashem is to work on our midos, and that's the proper way that we come out of these parashas of Musar and into the weeks of Tshuva. And with that, Shabbat Shalom.